Everybody on this lovely Friday, wherever you are. I am in San Sebastian in Spain. After 2 days on the road, I'm leaving here this morning and driving all day to get to Portugal by this evening. We've got a family memorial service in Portugal this weekend. I hope you are well and enjoying your Friday so far. I don't have a coffee yet because I haven't managed to get down. I've had to kick the family out to make a nice quiet studio for this morning's show. But as soon as I finish this, I'll be down into the restaurant for breakfast and then hitting the road in the BestAgent Tesla. I don't know why anyone's worried about electric cars and ranges. We've done 2 days. We've got from Devon to Paris, and Tours. In fact, Devon to Tours in one day and Tours to San Sebastian yesterday. So they really are a very effective way of doing the trick. Let's get straight into the news. I want to start today. There's a few stories worth mentioning. Just very quickly. So you're all aware of the material info change required, where you're going to have to put in the fact whether put in an actual price, a council tax band, and a tenure on your sales properties. Okay, so there's a story that covers that. That's been covered quite widely everywhere. There's on the AT today. It's to me, it's another massive sign of how behind the times the industry is when it's having to become regulation that you have to put the leasehold information of the tenure information of a property on the market. Didn't know there weren't agents doing that, to be honest, but there we are. The next story on the negotiator today, Brian Mansell from Gazelle has said, as well as getting upfront sales information, buyers should provide more upfront information to keep time wasters out. And that's a fair point at a certain point in the process, but I've actually sent Brian a message this morning to get his comment on at what point he thinks agents should have to do that, because I think there's more and more and more commentary from people who aren't agents or aren't agents anymore about what agents should be doing. And I think agents get fed up with being told what they should be doing. And I'm very, very cautious not to do that myself, other than offer tips by people who aren't agents. I know Brian was an agent, but the point is the whole upfront information, whether it's on the property upfront information or the buyer, just creates yet more extra work for agents before they've actually earned anything from it. I'm not saying it's not a good idea, but ideas are cheap. Ideas are easy. Implementing the idea and actually getting that upfront information is not easy. It has a direct impact on time and your day and your ability to do your job. So no one has yet come up with a get upfront information and look how easy it is, and it won't slow you down in your already time-consuming job. And I think until that happens, people aren't going to see much improvement from agents on that. There is, on to the next story, there is a market share report out today from 20CI or 20EA, I can never remember which is. I don't think there is any correlation whatsoever between the ranking of market share of properties for sale and market share of properties actually sold. And so this is a vanity metric right here. I'm sure a lot of the agents that would agree, but definitely worth mentioning EXP UK, who have entered that for the first time, who've come out of nowhere in the last couple of years to be a real player. So congratulations to Adam Day. And I have to say, if I was a self-employed agent looking for a franchise model to go with, based on what I've seen so far, without doing any deep detail, EXP would be the top of my list of brands to look at. Now, what's much more important is that I think there is an increasing amount of information pointing to changing market conditions. So, property industry eye has got house prices look set to fall. Capital Economics have predicted 5% house price for the next 2 years. Owners have warned their mortgages could go up by £1,000 a month. I don't know if that's a month or a year that Rishi Sunak is saying. I haven't looked at the detail of that, but mortgages rising, house prices falling. And this morning I heard on Radio 4, I looked it up on the website, a story by Begbie's trainer saying that the number of firms in critical financial distress has risen sharply. Now, all of these stories are all pointing in the same direction. Now, this is not necessarily bad for agents, right? But there is a very big change in market conditions coming. It has opportunities, it has threats. But if I was an agent, and this brings me on to my tip of the day, for which one moment, guys. There's the top story, which I didn't put up there. Now, my tip of the day. Given that all agents' biggest battle continues to be the competition for winning actual stock, and given the fact, excuse me, that increasingly house price rises are slowing, forecasts of house price falls are creeping in, mortgage prices are going up, cost of living utilities is going up, inflation is going up. Everything is going against the consumer. Nothing at all financially is going for the consumer at the moment. Everything is going against, and it's forecast to get worse. And you've got a backlog of business insolvencies that's been held up by the pandemic. And Begbie's trainer says in that story that it's just a dam waiting to burst. Um, as I said earlier in the year, the conditions are increasingly likely for a sharp change in conditions. And I think the sharp change will be lots more properties come on the market. Well, that's great, I hear you say. It is only if you can sell them. And if the ease of selling properties starts to change, which won't happen straight away, but if the stock starts to go up sharply and conditions change, then buyers will start sitting on their hands and being worried about buying a property at too high a price if the market's coming down. So my tip of the day to you is to I would just really put yourself into the mindset of the consumer and how they're feeling now when you're doing valuations, because it's going to be very easy to overvalue properties, honestly, because that's what you think. And by the time they come to the market and come to sell, you've missed the top and the tide has turned, and that probably sits there looking expensive. And if I was a seller worried about the economy and house prices falling and that kind of stuff, I would be looking for an agent that clearly knew and had their finger on the pulse of what was going on in the economy. So my tip of the day is don't just keep up with the industry news, keep up with the wider economic news and not just the headlines and the trashy news and papers, but actually look a bit deeper, look ahead, because what's going to happen 3 to 6 months from now is going to benefit you if you are prepared for it, and it's going to hurt you if you are not prepared for it. So that is my tip of the day, guys. If you're out there with instructions, compared to other agents that your clients are meeting or that your prospects are meeting, be the one that appears to be better informed about what's coming down the line later this year. Because if I was having to move house and sell my house this year, I would be starting to be very worried if I was looking at these conditions. Very worried indeed. So what would be amazing for agents is if people start putting the house on the market at realistic prices and you can sell them quickly. And I hope that's what happens. But beware, because there is a trap of ending up listing lots of properties thinking you're doing really well, not being able to sell them. And then also the other thing that's going to happen is your existing pipelines might start to show signs of weakness if buyers who are in the buying process start to get jittery about what the economy is doing. So, guys, the sun is still shining. You could be making hay while the sun shines. Absolutely keep doing that. But beware, conditions are definitely going to change later this year. Hi, David Turnbull. I know you are an EXP man from Tavistock and West Devon. Hello again, Mark from New Zealand, who says, in fact, I can just show this on here. Mark says, we have just come out of a hot market and everything is leveled out in New Zealand. Keeping my sellers informed. Well, that's great. That's exactly what I'm recommending you do there. So well done, Mark. Now, we've got to 9 minutes. I've got to get downstairs, have breakfast with my family, and get a cup of coffee because I'm so desperate for my morning cup of coffee. I wish you all a great Friday. I will be broadcasting from a very beautiful place on Monday morning, a family property beside a lake in Portugal. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday morning. One final request, guys. Please keep the comments coming. Please keep sharing this. So wherever you can share this show with other agents, if you think it's valuable, please do, because that would help me and help them. And keep on commenting. And you can find us on YouTube, Best Agent YouTube, Best Agent Facebook, Best Agent Twitter, or my own Twitter, and my LinkedIn page. So there's all the pages you can watch this live stream. Have a fantastic weekend, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.